Today we're here to talk about the induction varietals of the Bialetti Moka pots. And in fact, it's the Moka Induction and the Brikka Induction. And as you can tell, they both look pretty similar. But we're going to outline how these guys are different and for which applications you would use each pot. So Alfonso Bialetti created the original moka pot. We have a little example back here in 1933, and the original material used is aluminium, and that's still used very widely all over. And the classic is one of my favorites. Love to take it camping and on the road with me. It's very light and always makes me feel like home. But obviously, things have come a long way since 1933, and the main idea behind him creating the moka pot in the first place was that you could have Italian style coffee at home and you didn't have to go to your local espresso bar. So now that the induction way of cooking has come very much to the forefront because it's energy efficient and the heat is much easier to be controlled, etc. Bialetti decided that they needed to also have a induction model of their famous moka pot. So that's why we now have this whole range of induction, because you always need to be able to have the right Bialetti for your specific style of cooking at home. So we've never actually made these side by side together, so we're going to take you on this journey with us to see what the difference in extraction is going to be using the same grind size and the same amount of water. So for 4 cups, we're going to do 4 cups. It is able to do up to 6 cups, but we're going to go with the 4-cup method to see what the difference in extraction times and the style of crema is. Here we've deconstructed the Brikka and the Moka induction pots, and you can see that the pots are pretty much the same. The baskets are the same size, the shower screens are the same, the bottom compartments are made of the same material, and your O-rings are the same size and interchangeable. These are very easy to replace if you find that your moka pot is leaking at any point, which is good to know. And then, so the difference comes in the spouts of, remember this is the Moka induction and this is the Brikka, where you can see, if we zoom in, this has the traditional spout, the traditional moka spout, where there's 2 large openings on either side, and the Brikka has a cool little hole on the top and also you can see it has 2 small spouts, and it also, if you turn it over, you can see inside there's a tiny little valve at the top there which creates more pressure. And the idea is that that helps to create the added crema that the Brikka is known for. Okay, so now we're going to get brewing. We're going to measure out the water that we're going to use in the bottom of the chamber. We're going to hand grind our coffee, and we're going to use our induction cooker right here. Okay, we've specifically chosen this medium roast from Brazil, from the black sheep, and I've chosen it because I like to use a medium, on the edge of medium dark roast for my moka pots, and the smells delicious. The basket can hold 38 grams of coffee. I'm going with 35 grams because the first time I did it, it was a little bit too full. And the grind size, you'll see now, but it is not as fine as you may think you need to go for a moka pot. I do a very gentle tamp down, nothing too hectic. All right. We're going to taste the different extractions. As you could tell from the timing, the Induction Moka started to extract at about 3 minutes, and the Brikka took a couple minutes longer than that. So my assumption is that the mocha is going to be a lot less intense, and yeah. So what we've learned here is that the extraction is definitely different, even though they look very similar from their appearance. The actual mechanism is extremely different, and you saw that the extractions happened at very different times, even though the grind size was the same and the amount of water was the same and the heat was the same. So the Brikka gives you a much more intense brew, which I'm going to now add some milk to and have a lovely little cappuccino. And the mocha has given me a smooth and still very flavorful brew, but might be better just as a black coffee. And the Brikka I'm going to make into a milk beverage. So very interesting to see the differences between these two moka pots from Bialetti.